It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar on TGIF. Thank God it's freaking Friday. Actually, that's TGFIF. Boy, look at this sky out here too. You know, this is the Lauderdale by the Sea live cam. It's at the Windjammer Hotel. If you're ever staying in South Florida, I've never been over there, stayed there myself. Nice little place, right on the water. And again, they have a live cam you can view anytime. Look at the sky out there. I mean, I've been out there on days like this on my boat, and where you can almost not separate the sky from the water. The color is so similar. Very beautiful out there today, even with the overcast condition, which a lot of you folks up in Seattle and different states are used to. You Northeasterners, too, are used to in the winter months. I like it once in a while, but I'm a sunshine guy myself. So let's move into spot prices. I delayed the video a little bit for a couple reasons, not just because I wanted to see what the gold prices were, but primarily I wanted to see where we move through. Let's see, what time is it right now? It's actually 10:54. Yeah, I wanted to give it an hour. The market's between 8:20, a lot of activity. It was kind of sideways this morning, so I just kind of wanted to see where it goes a little bit before I made this video. And the day's not over yet. Let's take a look at the gold prices right now, and let me kind of blow that up for you a little bit. 1862.74 currently. We're sitting close to the high of the overnight or today's highs. I'm not quite sure. We'll look at the 24-hour chart and find out. A low of 1846. And again, a high of 1866, about a $20 spread there. Silver, 24.87, the low, 25.39, the high. We're currently kind of sitting in between that level. Well, no, actually, no, I'm sorry. We're sitting on the downside of that. It looks like a little war going on there with silver. A lot of reluctance above this $25 mark, and let's see where it ends up at the end of the day. Hopefully above 25, but hey, we still have to make it through Sunday night if they monkey hammer it Sunday night or Monday morning. We'll see what happens. But I like the strength so far. Expecting a pullback, as I said. Always expecting a pullback here. Platinum 1074, down about 12 bucks. A low at 1068, a high at 1093. So it is sitting below its low also. And palladium in green like gold. So the only two metals right now in green. Let's just do a quick refresh because this has been changing so fast of late. All right, there we go. I got red all the way across the board except for palladium. And let's take a look at the 24-hour charts and see where the action's happening on Friday. We've had a very interesting week, mostly on the upside of it, which is kind of cool. It's nice to see it's broken through that 20. There's a lot of pain in those short positions, I'm pretty sure. But let's see what's happening here. The green line is us. This is the overnight markets. Last night since New York's close, okay? You can see New York's close right around the 1860 mark. It looks like last night around a low of 1850. So she's been sitting in the 1850, 1860 range pretty much all night. There's kind of a movement upward towards, that could be Hong Kong or London, I'm not quite sure. And then again, I've got to check and see. Gosh, I got to pull up that chart again. But no less, let's just take a look at the time frame, not which market did it. I'm not sure if it was London and New York Globex. Globex is a 24-hour market. I'm told that if you see big trades done on Globex, it's usually done to monkey hammer markets down because it's a very thinly traded market. Globex is, as far as the gold market goes. Gold market's a thinly traded market to start with, but even thinner on the Globex time. London is usually where you'll see the monkey hammer, the up and down movement in New York. So I suspect, let's see, yesterday, well, look at the green line right here. There's New York's open right about this line. Remember yesterday? Look, all that action right in New York. Again, that's what we've been talking about. This is a pattern that's been repeating itself daily for a month now on the up and down side. A lot of traffic, a lot of activity and volatility between the opening in New York and about noontime. And it's extended through the day on some days. I mean, take a look at this, all the activity, and then sideways through the rest of the daytime. Again, it's Friday, man. It's Friday, folks. Curious to see what happens for the rest of the day, where this market's going. Started out very tepid, though. Look at the price of gold. Kind of a little bit less from where it started from yesterday as far as the time frame, but we're still sitting at that 1860 range. I'm wondering if we're going to see that slow climb back up to 1870. It's showing, there's some strength in here overall. But again, expect some monkey hammering. It's all natural. It's all part of the process of the casino they call COMEX. but it'll only last so long, so just ride it out. It gets monkey hammered again, buy the dip. However, I'm not saying it is going to get monkey hammered or it's not. Very confusing time for most everyone to try to figure out exactly what's happening and the amount of ammo that these short positions have left. And I still believe they have quite a bit of ammo. Never underestimate someone that has unlimited borrowing power at cheap money. They'll just keep doubling down on stupid. So, well, let's take a look at the silver price here. Silver, same thing, same exact thing, except you got a little bit bigger movement here this morning. And there we go, New York right here. New York open. Take a look at the silver price. Shot up from that, well, a little choppy action overnight. So here's your overnight action. I would just assume in Hong Kong and in London right here. There's your kind of choppy action between, what is it, 25, hang on a second. It looked like it drifted last night after the New York, and it drifted above the 25 mark and then down below that 25 mark in the 24, close to that 24.80 mark maybe, and again New York time kind of back up again. So there's something, a lot of trading going on, a lot of volatility in silver, especially in New York and the NYMEX markets in the morning. So let's see where this takes us as well. Hopefully, again, we'll keep in this $25 range, but we'll see. If not, again, if they monkey hammer it, good opportunity to buy the friggin' dip. So let's move into what we're going to talk about, because we really have no control what the market does today. Just keep following it, folks. Buy the dips when you can, and understand that they're only temporary, and that the people in the casino are eventually going to have to reassess their situations in precious metals if we keep showing this continuing strength, and I believe we will. But again, like I said, don't think that it won't get hammered down by $1 or so, or maybe even more with silver. That's just the way they play the game in the casino called COMEX. Good article. You learn something new every day. Kind of gave me an idea for today's report. By Ted Butler Research. I'm a subscriber to Butler Research. I learned a lot from this gentleman, and now that I've got a subscription of his website, as I said, he don't know me from Shinola, so I'm not getting paid to advertise his site or tell you to get a subscription. But I can tell you, my subscription has proved worthwhile to me. I like the way he writes. He's old school, original gangster style, silver trader, OG. So I like reading his stuff. And I think I've become a smarter trader and a smarter person because of it. One of the good articles that he did this week, and of course I'm not going to read them to you. You have to get the subscription yourself. I mean, that's the whole point of having a subscription. Someone doesn't blab it out for free, you know what I mean? But highly recommended if you're involved with precious metals that you subscribe to Butler Research. It's not that expensive, folks. And his last article, silver that exists versus silver that is available. I think I can bring up one particular point that he brought up without spilling any beans or saying anything that would be proprietary, is that he pointed out clearly that even though there is a lot of above ground silver. By the way, we're going into a really cool visual capitalist site here. I'm going to do this for a little while. But Ted Butler mentioned that even though there is a lot of above ground silver available, I mean, not available, not available, I'm sorry, a lot of above ground silver. Physical silver, there's a lot that exists in 1,000-ounce bars, held in private hands in 1 ounce, 10 ounce, 100 ounce, whatever it may be, silver coins. There is a lot above ground when you really take a look at the sheer number of ounces. But the thing he points out, how much of that is actually available. So that is the interesting thing. He gives he gives his idea how much is actually available. And let me tell you, folks, it's just a fraction of what's above ground. So availability versus what's above ground are two entirely different things. I like visual capitalists, and I'm going to advise that you bookmark them on your site, or take a look this weekend if you get a chance. Spend an hour. We're going to kind of gloss over some of the stuff that Visual Capitalist does on silver. Now, this particular one is called Silver, the Undercover Super Metal. Excuse me one second. I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. I don't want to give you silence here. Give me one sec. If you hear bubbling in the background, that's my fish tank. Silver, that's not me drinking. Silver, the Undercover Super Metal, all right? Let's see if I blow this up a little bit, make it that's much easier to read, and I think I can even do it one more time. There, did that go down or up? 1 second, sorry about that. Aha, we've got supersized reading now. Let's take a look at this Silver the Undercover Superman. Again, I love Visual Capitalist. You should take a look at their other stuff. Silver is playing a major role in technology today. Switches, discs, circuits, boards, alloys, inks, and films, all made of silver and making our everyday gadgets work. Silver even helps technology be green, clean our water, and heal our wounds. Silver is an important part of our lives today and will continue to be tomorrow. Again, this is Visual Capitalist. You can read this for yourself. And I don't know if you read it as much as, again, what they call it, visual as well. This I didn't know. NASA's Magellan spacecraft relied on silver-coated quartz tiles to protect it from solar radiation during its 4-year mission. And this I absolutely didn't know. The world's strongest alloy, did you know this, is made of silver and aluminum and is essentially the component of the Air Force C-17 transport and the Army's Apache helicopter. Wow, you learn something new every day, and that's what I like. I've been doing this since 1977, full-time pretty much. No, was it full-time I started in 77? I don't remember. I started working for my father. It felt like full-time. And I've been through a couple markets here, and I tell you, I learn something new every day, and I'm happy. It's the one thing that keeps a smile on my face. I think if I thought I knew everything and I didn't go out looking for to challenge myself or challenge my beliefs, I would not be a happy person, or as smart as I am. And well, anyways, and I don't think you would appreciate me as much. You smart people out there listening to me, if I wasn't as smart as I am, you wouldn't be watching me. So the kudos to all my smart listeners. 761 million ounces of silver are produced globally. Now, this is 2011. This is a little bit older report. So 761 million, less than a billion ounces, and that's produced globally in 2011. Now, remind you, that's probably at the height of mining production too. We were right in our highest silver market and gold market. The mines were probably, and gasoline was, and fuel was fairly cheap for the mines. Great time for miners, I believe, at that point. And they were at peak production, I believe. So at peak production, you're almost looking at 800 million ounces produced globally. Top silver producing countries are who? Mexico, all right. Peru coming in at second at 14%, and China at 13.6%. I'm not really sure if China exports much silver. Does anyone know that? If you do, make a comment in the comment section below. And in fact, you know what? The nice thing about a Friday show is most of you are going to watch on a weekend. So let's see. China silver exports. Let's type that in and just see if we can see what China exports. Because my understanding is that China, when it comes to gold and silver, top exporters, world's top exporters. Silver exported by countries, and here we go. Okay, silver exporters by countries. So apparently silver exporter, United Kingdom, that's probably their London silver market, Hong Kong, and China silver exports now. 15 countries exported the highest dollar, okay, in 2020, interesting. So China, it does export its silver. They're not stockpiling it there. I'm sure they keep a certain amount of it though, but they seem to be one of the larger ones. Where are we going? There we go. There's my visual page. So let's kind of move along there. That was, again, I was wondering how much of it they keep. That's why I kind of digressed here. But there's your top producers right there. Silver is slightly harder than gold. I knew that kind of slightly, but I didn't know how much. The gold does seem to be a little bit softer. The melting point of silver is 1,763 degrees. For you technical guys out there that are interested in those kind of numbers, silver is a soft, ductile, malleable, and has the highest electrical and thermal conductivity of, what does that say? All metals. All right, it doesn't say less than gold, of all metals. Highest electrical and thermal conductivity of all metals. Do you see the importance of silver, folks? 30% of silver produced is used in the photography industry. This must be old. Hang on one second. Mostly it's silver nitrate. I don't believe that's the case for many years. All right, that's 2014. You can pretty much kiss that goodbye. But what has replaced the silver production in the photographic industry is probably photoelectric, which would be solar power, which I'm sure is certainly picked up the slack of this right here, which is known. Again, this is an old 2014, folks. This is a fact. Silver ions and compounds kill bacteria, algae, and fungi. Silver coins used to be stored with water and wine to prevent them from spoiling. Really interesting fact there. I didn't know about the wine part of it, but I do know that germs will not grow on silver. Where did I put that darn phone? That thing is annoying me here. Give me 1 second here. Grab that. turn that buzzer off. My crew should know they need to answer that first time. Sorry about that. Silver, so silver, and especially in these days, think about that. You know, people are so paranoid about germs and bacteria and stuff. And silver, I believe they also, my understanding is that they use some kind of silver, small silver particles in bed sheeting and in clothing at hospitals and that kind of thing, because again, bacteria, fungus, and algae will not grow on silver. Silver kills it. Silver is derived from the Latin word for silver, which is argentum, which means shining. And that I didn't know either. I knew argentum, but I didn't know it meant shining in Latin. Hey, we're learning a lot of stuff together here, folks. This is why I like visual capitals. I got a few more to go through. I got to be careful here because this could turn into a long one if I don't. All right, so electronic devices, water purifiers, sanitizers, filtration. Let's see, electronic devices. All electronic devices have some amount of silver in them, from switches, you name it, to this and that. Silver membrane switches requiring only a light touch are used on televisions. It's lasting, and it lasts for millions of on and off cycles. So it does last a while before it gets thrown away, folks. You see this keyboard, you see that microwave, you see that screen. Where does this shit end up at? Landfills. It's not getting recycled. So that's one other factor we have to look at when we look at where silver goes and above ground supplies and availability. All right, it's not ending up in the refiners as much as gold does. It's in superconductors. It's in circuit boards. Batteries and manufacturers and silver alloys are 35% better than lithium. Think about that with silver alloys. 35%. That's huge, folks, than lithium, okay? The power to weight ratio is exceeded. Prevents disease, we know that. Nanotechnology, which is the big thing coming up, added to fabrics. That's what I was talking about. Silver is added to fabrics, appliances, carpets, and air purifiers. It acts as a sterilizer, killing harmful bacteria. So you will see its use more and more, probably in public places, and the carpets, and they're going to start impregnating, especially in public places. I bet you they're going to start using silver nanotechnology to prevent bacteria and those kind of things from growing. Silver-based inks and films are used in RFID, prepaid, and that stuff is thrown away, all thrown away. Silver tip switches in automobiles. There's a ton of silver in automobiles. Not literally, but across the board, there's tons and tons. Where does this stuff end up? Landfills. Doesn't get rid. So you remember, silver is one of the few metals that gets thrown away. All right, never gets recycled. There's probably more silver that's been thrown away in the history of humankind, definitely, than there is above ground. Guarantee you that the visual capitalist site here has something to show us that. Let's talk about the silver nanoparticles. For 120 years, used in washing machines, refrigerators, 650. It's just incredible what silver does from the technology of it's in our warships. Actually, our C-17s and our Black Hawk helicopters are built with silver in the aluminum that comprises of most of the airframe. Okay, I didn't know that. And what do they do with those airframes? They get recycled? I don't know. In solar power, in the health industry, think about the number of uses of silver. Folks, I have said it for years and years and years that I felt that silver was, we'll move into the next visual graphic too. I felt for years and years and years that silver could be legally declared by governments. Well, I don't know if it's legal. I don't think anything they do is legal, but well, that's not true. But I think they could make a case for calling silver a strategic metal, and cease the trading of it somehow, or lock the price or something like that. I don't think it would work. I don't think people would pay attention to it. But no less, silver is extremely not even talked about, and still probably one of the few metals out there that has not gone up dramatically. And look at the uses of it and the availability of it. It's just insane. And why is this? Because COMEX, the CME, big short positions out there, have completely distorted the whole big picture. In fact, I think this is going to cause huge pain in industries when they find out that the amount of paper and the amount of bullshit that's kept silver so low and has kept the supply chain screwed up, and has also we've thrown away a lot of silver. The big commercial banks have manipulated the price of silver so much downward. They've screwed the everything up, and at some point, I think it's going to really hurt hard on people that use silver for the medical industry, use silver for the industry. I'm not talking about investors. They're going to be very happy with the price of silver, but the price of silver is going to create huge pain for a lot of industries across the board. No one's talking about it. Visualizing the global silver supply chain. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here again. Get a little dry here. It's quiet out there. Okay. And this is Visual Capitalist. What a fantastic educating website the Visual Capitalist is. And again, they don't know me from Shinola, so I'm not getting any special favors from them. And however, my whole point of these videos is to teach you what I know, show you what I am reading, make you self-sufficient, independent, free-thinking person, okay? I respect those kind of people. I don't like people that are parasites or predators. I like independent producers. And when you're teaching someone stuff, you're a producer. If you're just giving them something a little bit at a time to make them dependent on you, you're either a predator or a parasite. So I'm a producer. I don't mind teaching you whatever I know and sharing with what I read, and admitting that I don't know everything as well. And I learn from you guys, and I learn from everyone else. And I'm learning every day too. Learned a lot today actually from Ted Butler, and learned a lot from this Visual Capitalist site, stuff I didn't know before. So let's move into the global supply chain. And then, again, this is done by. Oh, look, make a cross sign. There's the devil. BlackRock. I don't know who BlackRock is. Is it BlackRock, the big giant group out there? Man, they own everything if it is. Okay, visualizing global supply chain. Silver is as versatile as metals it gets. We've known this. Electronics, jewelry, investment. You notice it doesn't have a camera up anymore, so this must be a newer, 2021. It doesn't have a camera up here for photography uses. Again, photography has been replaced with what, folks? Electronic. It's picked up the slack dramatically, electronic massively, way more probably than they ever used in the photographic industry. Photographic industry, not many people knew this way back when, used to recycle most of its metal. And renewable energy, here's your real kicker right here. This has replaced photography massively. So silver is even far more used in industry than it has ever been in history, all right? Top 20 producers of silver, I think we read that already. Mexico. We'll kind of skip out of this. If you want to take a look and see the details and look at other countries, what they produce, be my guest. It's a great site. It's free, and I encourage you to go and look at this stuff in more detail. As I said, I'm going to kind of brush through this as fast as I can so I don't make this into a 4-hour video. Silver supply chains spans all 4 hemispheres. Again, number of mining conflicts. This is talking about mining conflicts. I don't know what that exactly means. Okay, I'm not going to say it. Related mine closures in Peru. We talked about this, and led to 46 million ounces decline right out of Peru. Okay, was 2020. Something I brought up when no one else was talking about it, or I couldn't find anybody else talking about it, was that the closures, the effect that would create on the availability, above ground availability of silver, not the overall supply of what is above ground, but the availability, the available ounces, the stuff that is available for sale. Because remember, a vast majority of silver is not available for sale. It's in private hands. Some of them don't plan on selling it until prices get substantially higher. So even though there's a lot of silver above ground, not a lot of it's available. And again, when you look at what happened in 2020 and closures worldwide, wow, that's going to put a real hurting on available supplies. And as I said, I think that because of the screwed up the way COMEX price discovery works, the price discovery on COMEX is based on short positions, these big giant whales that COMEX caters to. It borders on fraudulent behavior, in my opinion. It's a favoritism at the very least that has screwed millions of people, including miners, out of lots of profit. But no less, the price discovery sucks. But when the price discovery is so out of whack, the price of what we see silver listed at the COMEX markets, overnight markets, is so out of whack with the reality of what probably is availability above ground. Somebody's going to figure this out, but again, COMEX has made it so you can't go in there. You can't do a Hunt Brothers on COMEX anymore. After the Hunt Brothers squeezed COMEX like that, COMEX changed the rules. Now remember, COMEX is owned by CME Group and they own the casino. Some people think, well, that's not fair. Well, they can change the rules anytime they want. There's no law saying they can't change the rules. But is it ethical? No. Is it moral? No. Is it the right thing to do? No. But they do change the rules, okay? And they changed the rules after the Hunt Brothers, and making it so they could, if you demanded silver at COMEX and they can't provide it with you, they don't default or anything like. They don't have to give it to you. They don't have to go bankrupt. They can just give you the money in cash, the cash equivalent. Read it, it's in the fine print if you don't believe me, folks. And that was a direct result, that rule that COMEX put in, the CME, the casino owners, the scammers. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but it's true, in my opinion. They changed the rules. When they found out they could potentially be broken in the silver market, they changed the rules. However, they're going to be broken anyway because the supply, once COMEX says we don't have the silver to give someone, we'll give it to you in cash, the system's fucked, all right? So with or without, whether they defaulted on delivering the silver or whether defaulted by giving you cash, it's a default either way. And don't think giving you cash, at least they won't, they can say they completed the contract. That's the above thing. The thing is if they give you cash, they can at least probably stay in business, all right? And that's the whole point. So that's why they changed that rule, in my opinion. Let's take a look at, we'll keep going, silver production by source metal. Now, this is really cool. 27% of the mines are primary silver mines. 32% of silver comes from lead and zinc. 25%, now I knew all this, but again, I'm learning something new. I'm learning the percentages. 25% of silver comes from copper mines, and 16% comes from gold mines. Now that's kind of cool if you think about it. And what is that ratio? 16 to 1? Okay. But primary silver, let's see, who is the lead and zinc miners actually pull more silver out of the ground than primary silver mines, copper mines, and gold. That's an interesting number that I did not know as well. Very, very cool. Gosh, man. Silver's got a lot of cool stuff about it. In addition to the world's biggest silver mines are aging. Yep, there's another thing right there. In addition, the world's biggest silver mines are aging. Average age of the top 10 silver mines is 29.5 years. Here's the question, folks. Are we nearing, when it comes to silver, are we nearing, what's that peak silver period? When they said peak oil, when I think peak oil is when you got to past the point where you can get it out of the ground as cheap as freaking possible, and it start costing you more and you start having to go deeper. I think that's probably going to be the case with gold and silver. They're going to have to start going deeper and deeper to get it. It's going to cost more and more. Obviously, it's going to cost more. Look at the price of oil. So why aren't these two metals right through the roof? Well, because of the price discovery of COMEX, CME, and probably London as well and other markets. It's crooked. It's completely screwed and skewed the numbers of what is actually available out there, and it's going to cause huge problems down the road. And then everyone's going to go, oh, what happened? They're either stupid or they're just in denial about it, or they're trying to make that happen. Let's see. This goes more into the different places where silver is. Let's move into the next visual capitalist thing. God, I'm going to show you the archive for this, by the way, in the Visual Capitalist site. Put it on your bookmark bar. I think it's really a cool thing to look at. They have a bunch of other cool stuff as well. The world's creation, gold and silver coin production versus money creation. Total production per person. Let's see here. Sorry about that, took another sip there, should have warned you. Here's how much global currency was issued for each new ounce minted coin in 2019. All right, 44,000 increase in global money supply for every ounce of silver. And again, when you look at these kind of stats and numbers, folks, how is gold and silver not absolutely through the roof? Well, I'll tell you how. it's run by a crooked price discovery at COMEX and CME. I can't say this enough times, all right? At least we know this stuff now. And at some point, it's going to completely get out of their control, and people holding physical metals are going to be very, very happy. Total production per person, 2009 silver coins minted 20.23 cents per person, US dollars, and total production. Let's see, what is it? Gold and silver globally. How does the value of minted gold coins and silver compare to currency creation? 2009 coins minted $1.42, increase 390 times. Wow, global money supply was 390 times higher than the value of new gold coins minted. That's just incredible. What a cool site this is. This gets into a little more detail here. Interesting world's creation, gold and silver coin production versus money creation. And let me move over here. Silver bulls, visualizing the price of silver. Now this is kind of getting fun right here. We got a couple more to go through here, folks, so bear with me if you could, okay? Let's take a look here. Where are we? Silver bulls, how silver performs. And 1970s, let's take a look at the price of silver. Give me 1 second here. 1980s, 118. This has been adjusted, inflation adjusted. There we go, inflation adjusted. I'm not really a big fan of inflation adjusted, but you know what? It actually works in this case. Here's after Nixon took us off the gold standard right here and put us on a completely fiat currency system. This starts right about here in the 1970s, and you can see the price of silver is kind of moving up before that, but I guess you can say pre-1970 there is our first real bull market right there, and I'm not quite sure what that was caused from directly, but this is a direct result of our introduction into the credit-fueled fiat bubble that we're in today at a massive level, the greatest bubble of all time. Boy, I don't know if I'm happy to say that I've seen this happen in my lifetime. Probably not. But inflation adjusted, there's $30.70 an ounce. Let's look at the 1980 bull market. They got inflation adjusted dollars, which I don't believe that. That's I'm not sure what inflation they're using, the CPI or something like that, or whatever it may be, which is nonsense anyway. Let's just say though, 118 for inflation adjusted. But the reality of that is, in real 1980 dollars, that was $50 an ounce. That was our first major high. The Hunt brothers cornered the silver market, and lots of stuff going on besides the Hunt brothers cornering the silver market. So there's your $50 mark right there. And I guess that is a little bit more than double. I'm assuming that silver kind of first hit up here probably in the $12 to $15 range at this mark, and that was our first probably bump up into $7. But you know what? That can't be inflation adjusted. That's kind of weird because around 1970, silver was only a couple bucks an ounce. So, and if silver was $50 an ounce here, so I'm not sure how these inflation adjusted numbers work, but as this is probably in the $2 range for silver right here, $2 to $3. This is probably, if I remember, $5 to $7 or something like that. I don't remember exactly at this time frame in history. In 1980, the height was $50 an ounce. So there you go, and you can take a look. And there's our last market, 2012, $49.50, and we've currently hit higher than that, I believe. So this must be an older article. Let's see. Yep. 2020. Yeah, we hadn't quite hit $30 here, so that's why it's still showing 24.30. So I think we're still in the completion of another. The comparison made today by even the talking heads on TV and even the people that were in denial we were in an inflationary period, they're making direct comparisons to the 1970s, okay? So if they're going to make direct comparisons to inflation, and what we're going through is like 1970 style inflation, stagflation, whatever the hell you want to call it, depression, recessions, this is it right here, folks, and take a look at this. We've already had these blips right here. Take a look. Consider that this would be this blip, 1970 style. There's your next blip right there, which was what, 1975. And I don't think we've even seen the completion of our next mega run up right here. And we're going to go way past this 49.50 mark, I'm pretty sure. I believe that one day you're going to look at $50 silver and say, that is cheap. You remember? You're going to be telling your grandkids, yeah, I remember when silver was $50 an ounce. I remember when gas was $4 an ounce. All right, let's take a look at the silver bulls that they're calling it. All right, Again, this is inflation adjusted right here, so I'm not quite sure what the actual number is. Inflation adjusted. 1967 to 68. All right, this is what I'm making the comparison right here. I think it's comparable to what we saw in 2008. It's a little more spread out, but I think that's what we're looking at right there, this mark right here. They're showing a 48% increase in the price of silver in that bull market. Bull market number 1, 67 to 68. Bull market number 2, 71 to 74. 274% increase in silver. And here's the real kicker, bull market number 3, where the Hunt brothers are credited for squeezing COMEX until they change the rules, 544% increase. And here's number 4. What are they calling number 4? Well, okay, there we go. 86 to 87, a small 40% gain, but still admirable. There's another mini bull right there in between this long lull between these big markets, right? This is the credit-fueled bubble where, they made everything okay for a long time until it rose its ugly head again here. But take a look at this, 93 to 95. They would consider the next bull market at 39%. Not a bad return. If you take a look at these 40%, 39%, not many people would have considered these bull markets, but if you look at the percentage, it looks like a bull to me, even though it was short-lived. And I'm sure all these markets were monkey hammered down by COMEX, all right? They figured out how to do it using the big commercial banks, and they've been doing it till this day, but it's going to blow up in their faces soon, folks. I really feel that. 2001 to 2011, probably a fantastic bull market too, an 827% increase in 113 months. Oh, they're showing the span of these markets, the shortest being that 86 to 87 market. I remember all these actually. In 2015, 2020, we had, look, they call it, I like this, ongoing. And they're recognizing it for exactly what it is. I said, gosh, it's funny too, they're calling it 2015. I kind of said the bull market started in 16, the beginning of 16, but that'd be exactly right. That's exactly on the page when I say we are in an ongoing bull market, folks. This is not the end of the bull market in 2012. The last one we had in 20 was not the end of the bull market. This is this deal right here. Look, boom, boom, boom. They're comparing it to the 70s. You haven't seen, this is nothing, 49. You haven't seen this mark, and we will. Silver has outperformed gold in all but one bull market for gold. Now, gosh, what a great sight. Let's take a look at this. In 1967 to 68, silver outperformed gold dramatically, 100%, pretty impressive. Up 100%, gold up 140%. More closely matched with 71 to 74, it looks like. Gold and silver were more in line with each other, 455, 432. Again, silver getting beat by gold in that 71 to 74 market. And in 76 to 80, silver performed 977% up compared to gold at 715. So, yeah, I've said that for a long time. People ask me, what would you invest in it? Well, I like silver primarily because gold has already beat its all-time highs 3 times, all right? Let's take a look at these 3 times. 1, 2, and of recent, I think in 2020, we could say 3 if you don't adjust for inflation, okay? Not adjusted for inflation, we beat that gold price high in dollar value 3 times already. When it comes to silver, when's the last time we've hit $50 or $49 an ounce? Well, first time was in the 80s. The second time was here, 2012. So we're way overdue for silver hitting its all-time high. And I think it's going to sail right through it when it finally does. I really do, until someone steps in. Someone will probably step in and try to tamp it down. The uses of silver, we've gone over this. There's so many different uses here, so we won't keep viewing that one right there. But again, gotta love this website. Okay. Let's see, here's the archives, 13 stunning visualization, the average view. Oh, this is cool. All right, I wanted to show you this one, and then we're going to kind of close it out. We'll talk about a few things. A median U.S. family brings in $2,355 per pay. Average U.S. paycheck as a solid cube. I think some of you are going to find this really cool. I thought this was cool. And again, it's a visual thing. Let me see if I can make that larger. How big gosh, it's like it keeps getting smaller. All right, I better turn that back into that. I'm just making it worse. All right. if your average paycheck is $2,355, there's what it would look like as a cube of silver sitting next to your wallet and your keys, okay? Pre-tax. Now that's kind of interesting. There's a cube dollar value right there of silver for the average family. Medium family savings, a cube dollar. There would be, it's kind of funny, there is a cube dollar value $5,000, 274 ounces of silver in that cube. This is a 129 ounce cube. That's what an average family would make. The average family savings would be a 274 ounce cube. Now there's an inside a safe next to bills. And again, I will say one thing about Visual Capital is they keep the scale really right. So that's exactly about the size of packs of $100 bills, and that would be the size of your, well, what are they saying that is? There's $5,000 in cash, and there's $5,000 in a silver cube. There's a comparison. Silver delivery bar. Now this is what they're supposed to deliver in COMEX, okay? Dollar value $18,270. Oh, this is an older silver price. This must be 2020, like I said. But no less, contains 1,000 ounces of silver. Average household debt. Now mind you, the silver price is up higher than this. As a solid silver cube. This is interesting. Average household debt is $98,000. It's probably even more. So average household debt would be a 5,381 ounce cube of silver. Ooh, 5,000 ounce bars plus some, folks. That would be average household debt in the United States. I would rather have the silver cube than the debt. A Lamborghini worth over $400,000 needs a silver cube with a 16-inch diameter on both sides. So the value of a Lamborghini at the time this was made, I think it was pre-2020. I'm going to have to take a look. But take a look at that. This is the silver you'd have to trade. Boy, that's a close trade, though, man. Look at that Lamborghini. That thing's pretty. Would I trade my silver cube for the Lamborghini? No, probably not, but it's getting more tempting now, isn't it? Oh, and they're using $18 an ounce, so this is pre-2020. So it's even higher than that. It would take a bigger silver block, and the car would be even more expensive now. $1 million as a solid cube of silver. There you go. This is actual size of real packs of dollars, and if you had a $1 million silver cube and one silver cube sitting on your desk, which it wouldn't hold it, next to a suitcase full of $1 million in cash, this is exactly what it looks like. Again, love Visual Capitalists. They put the visual in it, and it's true, isn't it? There's a real live size, not a real live, but there's an actual what a $1 million cube of silver would look like versus $1 million in cash. And daily global silver production as a solid silver cube. So every day worldwide, again, this is at $18 an ounce. This is about the size of silver that is mined from the entire world. When you look at it from this perspective with the pick and the shovel, it's really not a lot, folks, in a world where we have trillions of people, or billions and billions. I don't even know what we're reaching on a global scale, but this is not a lot of silver on a daily basis. And silver eagles, average silver eagle sales. Oh, this is interesting too. 2000, 2007. Look how big that is compared to a football field. And in 2009, 2016, right before, or I bet this is even bigger now. Well, maybe not with 2020, but look at the size of that compared to a football field. That's all the silver eagles in a cube. And the Hunt Brothers stockpile. There we go. Ooh, damn. Well, remember, the Hunt Brothers stockpile was this big. Average silver eagle sales is this big. So think about all that silver the Hunt Brothers had control over, man. And they did it legally, and they did it right. They beat the casino, and then the casino changed the rules on them, bastards. But, you know, again, that's who we're dealing with. COMEX, the CME group, they're greedy bastards. They're only worth, in my opinion, they're only interested in lining their pockets with money, and that means lining the pockets of their biggest players who make them the most money and who manipulate these markets. J.P. Morgan has a solid silver cube. This is going to make me hold on, let me throw up for a second. No, let me get a sip of coffee, 1 second. Take this in, folks. J.P. Morgan, for years, shorted the market, got caught. They've suffered 4 felonies. They've admitted to fraudulently moving markets around, you name it. Admitted to it, all right? It was able to take that short silver position, and a lot of people still complain, oh, JP's a short. No, they're not the short position. They've been out of it a long time ago. What did JP do is they turned that that bullshit manipulative short position they had, that they screwed millions of investors and millions of people out of for years. They turned that illicit trade into this giant silver block, which they're currently sitting on. Annual global silver production is right there. Look how much JP owns. Oh my God, you're gonna love this site, folks. And we'll go down here, the Fed's balance sheet, sitting next to the JP. There's the Fed balance sheet sitting next to the JP Morgan silver block. And God, this gets more funnier and sicker. World sovereign debt, there's the Statue of Liberty, there's the block of silver. That would be the equivalent of the world debt. All kinds of cool stuff here, folks. If you want to look at visual capitalists, just type in visual capitalists with the word silver. It'll pull up all the different articles linking silver. But meanwhile, what a cool and awesome site. Got to hand it to the guys at Visual Capitalists. They do some wonderful stuff here. Definitely bookmark this on your bar. It'll make you smarter than the average bear. Yes, it will, Yogi. Oh, boy. And let's move into, we're out of this right here. I hope I shared some really cool stuff with you here, and I hope you go back to Visual Capitalists and figure out your own stuff. It's very awesome. Wall Street Silver Reddit group. Oh, man, I thought I was already there. Like to give a shout out to all the Wall Street Silver moderators and members that watch my videos, or at least don't mind them being up there and allow them to stay and post my opinions. I appreciate it very much, and I wish the best to all of you. Let's see what's going on out there. I'm just going to do a quick rundown here, see if I can spot any product, anything I can talk about. Food, God, just made me hungry. That was nasty looking though. Sorry, who eats that crap? Let's see what we got going here. Cool stuff. All right, I don't mean to be just dead space. I really didn't go over WSS, and I'm not sure what he's stacking. There's that JP Morgan, criminal organizations. Oh, okay, I'm not going to argue with that. I believe that as well. Could only afford 1 ounce on raid day. Good for you, brother. I hope that's a pretty little piece right there. I suspect you probably paid spot plus $4 or $5, which gets me into my next thing here before I get into yesterday's video, Veterans Day video actually. And let's. How'd you like my title yesterday?
Sure,
by the way, folks.
it's worth it for your
hang on
home.
a second. Let me show you my
Are you
title.
buying or selling gold, silver?
That's my TV ad. Let's go silver. Did you guys like that? About the price of silver going up. So big thank you to all the veterans out there. And let me click and talk about a few comments. Not too many comments on yesterday's video. Let's see, probably because of my title. It didn't get many views. I don't think they like those words too much anymore. I really believe that AI. Let's take a look down here. Food Hoarder says, I think you're ignoring the tech aspect of cryptos. It's like early Google is nothing but air, but their product's algorithm is not tangible. I understand that none of the, just understand that there's no track casino or bookmaker that offers clearly asymmetrical odds that was presented under 30K. Kind of lost me on that point, but again, as I said, it's just digital fiat to me. People that make money and people that like it, I'm cool with that, but I don't believe in it. All right, I guess that's the really bottom line. I'm not against it. I just don't believe in it. I'm one of those guys that call me whatever you will, but I like to hold my wealth in my hand when it comes to when I can. When the opportunity presents itself to hold my value in my hand in something that has a huge track record of 5,000 years, will never go bankrupt and has out-survived empires, countries, and central banks, I like that. I like that. To me, that's I'm a very sure bet kind of guy. So, but if I'm going to go out and gamble and I'm going to go out and get into highly volatile assets that are fairly new and have no historical track record, and you really don't own anything, just kind of thin air. If I was going to do that, I would play around with cryptos. But again, it's not my market. Don't understand who the players are exactly, how they rig the game. But if you do and you make money on it, man, I am all for that. So again, don't get me wrong about cryptos. Don't hate them. Don't think they should be legal. I wouldn't tell anyone not to buy them. What I do say all the time is understand them for what they are, and then I explain what my understanding of them is, and that's my opinion. It's not a fact, okay? Hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, Food Hoarder, and keep hoarding that food. Hey, actually, I've got food stores put away too, only because I live in South Florida and we can get hurricanes, and you never know. We could be without food for a week in Florida. I've seen it happen. Jamie Demon, that's what I call him, Jamie Demon. I agree with you 100%. How much dollars will it make the monkey hammer bounce back and hit them in the face? Well, listen, at some point this game is going to end. It's going to blow up in their faces, sir. Thanks for watching, John. Boca Stacker asked me if I'm familiar with GSX Crypto. That's backed by gold. I am not, and really, you know, why do we need stuff backed by gold, really? Other than sound money, which our Constitution tells us we should have, and only Congress should make, not central bankers. You know, I would be all for that. If Congress came out and said they were going to limit dollar printing or go back on a somewhat gold standard and silver standard to some degree with hard currency backing, I would be all for that. But as far as private companies, why? I can hold it myself. And again, it's about money really more than an investment. I'd rather see our money backed by something. Investments, hey, invest in what you want, crypto, gold, whatever it may be. But I am a hard money guy. And I'm also believe in a sound dollar, and made by Congress, made by gold and silver, as our Constitution states. I digress. So, Michael Rodriguez, if we are in the beginning of a bull market, should we not even care if we pay a couple dollars above generic rounds price? One day we're going to look back and say $25. I agree, and it's true. But should you not care, Michael Rodriguez? There's a saying I learned a while back ago that it took me most. I knew the saying when I was younger, but I never paid attention to it. It's absolutely true. It's a saying that if you watch the pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. And as you get older, the thing that you worry most about is end up being broke and living in a poorhouse or living in a one-room place, even worse, homeless, all right? So as you get older, you start to worry about that, and you start to think about all those pennies you wasted, at least for me. And I started to realize, man, I've not been that frugal in my lifetime. And I don't mean cheap, like really cheap. I buy stuff if I like it. I'll buy a pretty coin. But overall, watch the pennies, and the dollars will take care of themselves. That really applies to buying precious metals especially. You know, if you avoid buying overpriced premium products in silver, that money you save can either buy more silver or buy yourself a nice dinner or buy yourself something really cool and shiny that you would like more than a shiny bar. Again, that's my opinion. I'm all about saving up the pennies so they'll turn into dollars. Jay says, I exceeded my original goal 1,000 ounces. Awesome, Jay. Good for you, dude. Don't really want to put more money into it. How do I know if I have enough? You know, that's a question only you can answer. And I know we say, awesome, let's go silver. But silver is, you know, again, only you will know how much silver you need to put away. So that would be a question you have to ask yourself. I have heard in the past that financial advisors back in the 1980s, this is legit, I've met financial advisors in the financial advisors back in the 1980s that were suggesting that in a bull market, maybe 20% maximum of your investment money should be, or your assets should be in a tangible hard asset like precious metals. Maximum 20%. I've heard that number range anywhere between 10 and 20%. So I would think I'd feel comfortable if 10% of your assets were in precious metals. That would be a comfort level, I guess. But really, it's up to you from that point. I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't really know the answer. And I wouldn't want to pretend to tell you how much. Again, I'm not here to, you know, again, not here to give you advice on how much to buy or how much not to buy. I'm just trying to give you the tools to learn about how the market's played, what the prices are, what maybe you should be buying or not buying, but, you know, not whether you absolutely should buy gold or silver, which, you know, again, I'm here to kind of help you out make decisions for yourself, not make them for you. Thanks for watching, Jay. Hey, Will, what's up? I appreciate you watching. And Last Living Cowboy, absolutely. Chris Fetters, hey, brother, what's going on? And Silver Loving Lou and William Fender, thanks for your service, sir. I appreciate that. 8 years. Awesome, dude. My father was in the Air Force. He was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was in a silo in Kansas, putting in target boards. This is the truth. And then he ended up getting put up in Adak, Alaska. He said he asked for Hawaii, which was a big mistake, because if you ask for Hawaii, he says they put you in Adak or Thule, Greenland. But my father said the key was to ask to go to Thule, Greenland, then they send you to Hawaii. That's the way they worked at the Air Force. Thanks for watching. Appreciate that. Michael Cool, what's up? BP says, have an awesome Veterans Day. You too, sir, and all you veterans out there. Appreciate your service. And thanks, Michael Matthews, bread and butter. Traded some silver and gained 14 ounces. Hey, man, so I've been saying, Silver Eagles, take advantage of that premium and turn it into more silver. What do you need big premiums for? They're not going to help you when silver price goes up. Thanks for watching, bread and butter. I like the term monkey hammering it as well, but to be honest with you, I'm sorry, I'm not going to even try. Be honest with you, I could do without saying the word monkey hammer for a long period of time. I'm sick of saying it, I'm sick of talking about it, I'm sick of seeing it. But no less, it is a proper term. Thank you for the intro. Yesterday's intro was the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and taps, and like I said, man, that puts chills in me every time I hear that. Every time I hear it. Thank you. Appreciate everybody that watches out here. Here we grow. Thank you for. I agree 100%. My American values are based on that Constitution. I'm a completely Constitution-based guy, and if you stray from the Constitution, you are not a friend of mine, in my opinion. Okay, you're an enemy of mine. If someone strays from the Constitution, they are our enemies, folks. If you're truly an American, they're your enemies. They are not just people that disagree with you. They are your enemies. Okay, Joey. Hey, what's up, brother? 246th birthday of the Marine Corps. Yep, Semper Fi for sure. Foul-mouthed Marine. Well, you know, that's where I didn't get my foul mouth from the service. I wasn't in the service, but I can associate with foul-mouthed people. Thanks, man. So I like Marines. Knife collector. I was actually going to join the Marines when I was young. That goes into a whole different story here. I was really big into military stuff when I was a kid. Thought I was going to be a special force soldier. Then I got into the coin precious metal business. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it turned out for the better. I was on. Oh, that's sad, kind of. But God, I don't know how you made that. Yeah, I'd be a little worried about someone hitting a bad note as well. AC Taylor, thank you. Yeah, that's really cool. And Generation Suffered for a Better Tomorrow. It's really a whole different world right now, isn't it, AC Taylor? Aaron Fisher says, thank a vet today. I agree. Hager the Hodler says, well, that's good. Thank you, Father, for his service. Vietnam era pilot had a plaque on the wall that said, war is an ugly thing. That's true, but it's not the ugliest of things. Far worse is decayed and degrading moral and patriotic state that thinks nothing is worth war. Very interesting there. Thanks for sharing that, Hager. Brian Peterson says, in honor of your grandfather who taught me how to fish. My grandfather taught me how to fish too, folks. So did my father. My father and my grandfather, very important to me. I would like to thank all veterans for their sacrifices and our freedom. My grandfather was trained in a special unit that fought back in the alleys of Italy, facing some of Germany's best trained soldiers. Awesome, Brian. Appreciate you sharing that with us. And again, kudos to your father. Thanks for watching, folks. We're done. Hey, listen, it's the weekend. Thank God it's frickin' Friday. My name is Brian Kuzmar. I'm a local dealer here in South Florida. I don't do any online sales, so if you're looking to buy stuff from me and you don't live in my area, sorry about that. But if you can come into my store between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays, we will give you a great deal. In fact, we will beat Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion on their prices on their more popular products, which is the ones not popular products, but on the cheaper premium products, which is what you really should be buying. And again, we can do something they can't do, which is give you great face-to-face service with a smile and give you a great price on top of it. Now, if you don't live in my area and you can't visit me, one of the things I've always recommended is what? I know some of you are tired of hearing it, but here, I'm going to just do the visual for you. I'm going to be a visual capitalist here. Buy local. That's what I was going to type in, buy like. I was going to tell you to buy digital watches. Think, shop, buy local, buy local. Try to find a local coin store. Once you ship that money out of your state, it's gone forever. So if you're buying coins, tires, precious metals, jewelry, whatever it is, try to buy local, folks. Go to a local merchant. The money stays in your town. It helps support your local peeps, you know, the people that really should mean something in your life. Keep it local. Well, that's it. Let's see what happens in the markets today. And you know what? At the end, I have been sneaking and looking before I've been signing off. So let's see here. Ooh, up. I'm curious to see what happens the rest of the day. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And I really appreciate you watching, folks. Talk to you on Monday. Bye now.